It really doesn't take much to see how Chastanet thinks the few times that he does.
So I keep saying to everybody, colonialization had a conscience in that ultimately there was a person making the decision.
A massa mentality.
So I keep saying to everybody, colonialization had a conscience in that ultimately there was a person making the decision. That's why I keep saying to everybody, colonialization had a conscience.
That we have to become more draconian.
I'm embarrassed for you, okay? And I'm ashamed of you.
We will do it.
I just want to ask a quick question about the the National Health Insurance White Paper that was supposed to come out last October. Can you tell me who is working on that, and do you know what the progress is so far?
Any other questions?
When members come to this house and talk about consultancy fees, $9 million, so what?
If the public sector unions did not get the message during the border control debate, the Prime Minister is making himself clear once again.
Stop it. It is not your job to tell the government how to run government. You are a component of government. And so saying that you don't like this project or you don't like that project, that is for the electorate of this country to determine when the election comes.
The Labour Party, the Labour Party lost its ability to determine that direction on June 6th.
Should it be every dog that barks that I should respond and determine that I'm arrogant? I don't think so.
To try to create revenue for the government, and so that the foreign direct investment is really coming in the form of those loans.
You do not believe in investing in poor people. You do not believe in investing in poor people because on your own words you said that not to invest in safety nets, grow the economy first. That's your philosophy. We must grow the economy, and when we have resources, then we'll take care of the poor. As if you can postpone the cries of ordinary solutions. As if you could postpone and tell them, hold on, they're dead, you cannot help them to bury them. As if you could postpone and tell them, I'm not able to send your children to school. Wait till I build more hotels and grow the economy. That philosophy is a philosophy not even in the US, the mother of all capitalist country, that is being practiced, because they have some of the biggest safety net programs you could imagine.
And so what I've been holding out for is that we have a proper organization structure and that people are interviewed and that we allow them now to go into OKEU.
Strike a fait, j'en simplifie à souffler.
Dans les gens, chassez, dans les fouilles de population, les Samarines, la vie,
The government that was on the Victoria floor, sadly that's not the first time. That doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. The government that was on the Victoria floor, sadly that's not the first time. That doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong.
Richard Frederick had a big mouth, and that he was a mongrel.
And Stanley, you should be ashamed of yourself, honestly.
What we've been putting forward, Fanny, is that we've been saying to the companies we've been speaking to is, look, we're small enough that you can use us as a sample to determine what is herd immunity. Is it 50% of your population? Is it 60% of your population? Is it 70% of your population? And because of our size, we can get to where we can get 50% of our population vaccinated very quickly and see what the effects are. So it means it gives other countries the confidence that if they do this, that this would potentially be the result.
I don't listen. I let the jackasses break.
The pearl of the Caribbean. Say it with pride, the pearl of the Caribbean. That when people say I am from Vieux Fort, soon people will not know Vieux Fort. You are from the pearl of the Caribbean. Where you want to be from, a ghetto, or you want to be from the pearl of the Caribbean? Where do you want to be from?
Do you not see a pattern?
There is no intentions on my government's part to privatize
okay to use.
Privatization of the hospital, according to the Prime Minister, is the preferred route.
We've made that point clear, is that we would prefer to go into a private structure. We've made that point clear, is that we would prefer to go into a private structure.
I mean, I think government should have an intervention program. If in fact a young woman has a child, their first child, we need to sit down with their parents and everybody else, that child has the capacity to be able to take care of the child. But how do you allow that same child, that same girl now, to have a second and third child? Couldn't even take care of the first one. You pass by. That's your problem in the future. Wait a second, I'm not done yet. The third one then is jobs.
But before you go into jobs, is that an issue you should legislate? Because human rights activists will tell you that's a human rights issue.
Well, you know, Singapore deals with it in a particular way. We always want to tout how great Singapore is. But guess what? It needs to be a conversation. So the people will tell you, well, then it has to be through an education program. But whatever it is, we can't continue year after year and allow the same thing to happen.
Because clearly that's not something that you can legislate.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Well, you can legislate it.
In what way?
You can say, if you want to, that if a woman has a child under the age of 18, okay, not even an adult yet, and that person goes out and has their first child and you help them, okay, and you help support that first child, and goes out and have a second child, should that person be entitled to keep that second child?
Part of this system that we have of single mothers having multiple kids.
A statement you made as regards, I think, single moms or single families, I'm not too sure exactly. So can you just repeat exactly what is it that you said and what exactly did you mean? Because this is creating a lot of controversy.
Yeah, so I never spoke about single moms. Part of this system that we have of single mothers having multiple kids. So I never spoke about single moms. Single mothers having multiple kids.
Mr. Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I'm very happy for your judgment. I mean, and just for a point of clarification, if one goes...
No, Prime Minister. Prime Minister.
I just wanted to make the point, Madam Speaker, because, you know, it's all a learning issue for all of us. In the standing orders, point...
Prime Minister, please take your seat. Thank you.
And he said, Prime Minister, right there in front of us, right, that we were misleading the House.
Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Prime Minister. Honorable Prime Minister. You cannot stand and say you're not going to withdraw a statement.
I'm not going to withdraw it. So you're going to have to take whatever action you want. But I'm not withdrawing it.
Honorable Prime Minister, I'm going to ask you, please, to withdraw the statement.
I'm not.
Prime Minister, can I have a moment, please? Honorable Prime Minister.
Answer them.
Prime Minister, can I have a moment, please? Honorable Prime Minister.
Answer them. You want to continue to do and make those kind of things, but I'm going to, from now on, Mr. Speaker, every single time that there's a misquote like him, I'm going to stand up and ask for that statement to be withdrawn because it's not a factually correct statement. I never called people mendicants.
Mendicants? Not one of people who want to sit by and to say, la gouvernement, Mr. Minister. See, some people like that.
What is more racist? What is more Jim Crow than saying they should flog people? You stood up, you are on record as saying people should be flogged because they should flog publicly. And you believe you said it. And you believe that's okay, you can say it because you are you. And if the person will forget you. You said the people, let us suppose you're referring only to members of the Labour Party. Let's refer, 43% of the people in this country always vote for the Labour Party. So you're saying that between 40 and 40% of people should be flogged. Should be flogged. Because you lost an election and you lost the election, you said they should be flogged. You're on record as saying that.
Mr. Speaker, again, the member is misleading the House. If he's going to make a comment about me, put it in the right context. Nobody said anybody should be flogged because the way that they voted in the election. In fact, if I remember, there was a person from their party that said that people should be flogged on the square.
Mr. Speaker, you know, that is the kind of thing that is not only misleading, but it's irritating, Mr. Speaker. The gentleman is on record as saying people between the party should be flogged. Now he's saying he said it in context. You You know, that's a context. Context, people were flogged. That's what you said. I talk about racism. People were flogged. Flogging is a history of Jim Crow.
What the Labour Party has done in the past in the South and what they are doing today.
Today, yes.
They should be publicly flogged for what they're doing.
Yes, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
They should be publicly flogged. They should be publicly flogged.
St. Lucians, the truth is what you believe the truth to be.